Welcome back to Reggie Redd's Reactions, man. It's your boy, Reggie Redd. Now, Jessica Tarlov is a straight up beast. How she handled a 4-against-1 situation is nothing short of spectacular. And we about to jump in and we gonna watch her tear these motherfuckers apart. And if you like this video by the end, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Hit them alert bells too so you know when I'm dropping my next video. Let's jump into it.
Anti-ICE terror in Dallas. A sniper on a nearby rooftop firing indiscriminately at the ICE facility below and striking an unmarked van that was transporting migrants. One of the detainees inside that vehicle was shot and killed, and 2 other illegal immigrants are in critical condition. No ICE officers were harmed, and the suspect turned the gun on himself. FBI Director Kash Patel posting this chilling image, shell casings found near the suspect's body with the words anti-ICE written on it. Last month, the same facility was hit with a bomb threat. Ted Cruz and J.D. Vance are begging Democrats to end the hate against ICE.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric, demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell. If you want to stop political violence, stop telling your supporters that everybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi.
Trump posting on Truth. I am calling on all Democrats to stop this rhetoric against ICE and America's law enforcement right now. But the Democrats aren't getting the message.
Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic.
I believe that one of the reasons Donald Trump wants to send troops into American cities is because he wants to be able to take control of the 2026 election. It's about his authoritarian need to control.
And right before the shooting, Hillary was on Morning Joe saying we got to stop demonizing half the country as she demonized half the country.
We have got to stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. We have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating.
Well, it is so crazy how they blaming everything on the left nowadays. And I can already see how this thing going. Any kind of major news where it's a shooter of some kind, watch they gonna be blaming the left from here on out. And that's their strategy. They doing anything to try to stay in power, bro. And it's crazy, it's sad, and it's destructive as fuck. Because neither Ted Cruz, J.D. Vance, the Fox News host, none of these motherfuckers going to Trump and be like, hey, Trump, bro, you got to cut down your rhetoric too, man, because every time you say something, people going to say something back. People going to give it back. Because it's like, what do they want? Do they want to be able to demonize the other side without and other side just take it? That's not how shit works, Dirty. That is not how shit works. But watch Greg Gutfeld get in his feelings right here. Watch this shit.
Jessica, you have never called ICE agents fascists or Gestapo or Nazis. You've never done that, but there are people in your party that have done that. Do you think that's responsible?
Listen, I think that fascism and fascists is a very special category of people, and you should use it when it's really applicable and sparingly, because then people will believe you when you say it. And it has become too common to hear words like that. And that is a both sides problem. And last week we went through the litany of times that Donald Trump has used that rhetoric, and the fact that he came out after Charlie Kirk's tragic assassination and said the radical left did this, and then we heard a chorus of "we are at war," and that does permeate the entirety of American society, that they hear that from the top. We don't know
garbage.
that much.
That is absolute garbage.
It is.
Continue. When something terrible happens
Greg,
when somebody gets murdered, you're saying, how dare you be enraged by it? Continue.
No, what I say is, how dare
there is no, I'll give you the both. No, Jessica, I'll give you the both sides.
Greg,
I agree with you. There is both sides. On one hand, you have the hard left, and on the other hand, you have the left.
Why are you
They're the both sides of the same coin. Because you walk into this room and you're not reading it. There is no both sides. You don't have the evidence for that.
That's not true.
You can't say that Donald Trump says this. You guys act on it. You guys act on it. We don't. What do you want?
What do I want? I would like to talk about the specifics of who Vance Bolter actually was, since we fought about that last time, because you make it out as if this was just that he knew Melissa Hortman.
Let's focus on this thing now. I'll destroy you on that later. But focus on this now. You want to go back?
Focus on this now. This looks like a kid that was inflamed either by the leftist cabal, or maybe he used his own eyes. And maybe he saw what's going on. Maybe there are people in his community who are being picked up by people from ICE. Maybe he saw raids at Home Depot. Or maybe he did hear J.B. Pritzker. He seems like a Morning Joe viewer to me, right? Someone who had tuned in, saw Hillary Clinton, and then went out and grabbed his gun. The common denominator in all of this is that we have young men, usually young white men, who have access to these guns and are carrying out these tragedies. They are nihilists. They live online. And again, do you think it's normal that people are writing on casings anti-ICE? They think that it's a joke. You look at Tyler Robinson's text messages with his roommate and partner, it reads like a joke. They just wanted us on Fox News to have to be able to read that stuff out loud. He even said it in the messages. So I get it. You're amped up. I don't think that I said anything worthy of that level of explosion.
Your rationalization of both sides. You have to understand, since Kurt's death, there is no both sides anymore, Jessica.
Why did the DOJ take down the study that showed how much right-wing extremism?
What study was that? Which one? The one in The Economist that was sponsored by a group run by a guy in Antifa? That study that has been discredited by the Federalists? You're walking down a really bad alley right now.
Federalists?
Yes. I actually did see, Jessica, I did the deep dive on that study. That study was authored by a project that was run by a guy who says he was Antifa. That is why that whole thing has been scrubbed, okay? It's real simple. You label someone a fascist or a racist or a Nazi, it makes you free to attack them, and that has been the ideology from the start. It's weird.
So why?
No. Let me talk.
Trump does it.
What?
Just tell me why it's okay.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Great. I'm enjoying this.
Okay. You won't be for long. The left calls Trump a hate monger. They have called me a hate monger because I ridicule the left. I ridicule protesters. I ridicule academia, Hollywood, the news media. I make fun of The View every day. I make fun of the UN. Guess what? No one acts on the things that I say because my side doesn't do that. We say people are stupid. We say people are wrong, but we don't say they're evil. That is your game, okay? And then you come and you say, okay, man, this is a mentally ill loner. Well, who do you think does this stuff? It's not Ben Affleck. It's not Tom Brady. It's not even Carrot Top. People who do this stuff are always that way. The question is, who points them in that direction? Why pick ICE? Why pick Kirk? Why target TV stations and put bombs under Fox trucks? Huh? Why vandalize memorials? Why kill kids in Catholic schools? Two things can be true. A person can be mentally ill, and you can be guiding him to that place in his life. That is how brainwashing works.
There is a litany of examples that
You will
are
not
willing-
have them. If I gave you 2 months to look for them, you couldn't
Really?
find them because they've been debunked.
Really?
You have one thing.
The
If you
guy
want to
who
talk
came
about,
and killed
if you want to
Esther
talk a minute,
Salas's son has been debunked. Dylan Roof has been debunked. Vance Bolter and his list
Vance
of
Bolter,
dozens
we can talk
of
about that,
Democrats.
but you
sure,
get-
go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
I do.
Okay. There was not a relentless drumbeat for 10 years about his victim like there was here. There was an intent and a motive for her killing by her killer alone. It wasn't 5. It wasn't National Review. It wasn't any show going like, you know what? We need to go after this fascist. Hopefully someone will take her out. That never happened.
Guys,
that is why your analogy is so pointless.
It's
and desperate.
pipe bombs being sent to Democrats' houses. People saying in court, I was inspired by Donald Trump.
If you want to do
People
this
shooting
math,
up
you're going to be
Walmarts
embarrassed.
chase brown people. According
You
to
already
you, I'm
are.
embarrassed every day. So frankly, I'm just feeling normal. Thank you.
We should do this every week.
Yes.
I honestly, it's first day of the week with Greg. Seems to go badly for me. So,
Well, you don't come in here
That's
with
not
both
true.
sides.
It's not.
It's not. It's like going into a funeral
He read a
and
list-
saying, "Hey, let's have a kegger."
well, sometimes you should just celebrate the life.
Dana, is it always like this?
You should see when I get going.
All right.
Yeah, Jessica let they ass have it on that one. And this fucking Greg Gutfeld dude, bro, he just so fucking amped and so over emotional that he don't even see that his side does a lot of this shit. A lot of these right wing extremists, they come from that. Like, the left ain't started doing shit until like recently, and it's barely, you can't even really point to and say that they're leftists. Like, cause like the ICE thing, who got killed? The 2 detainees. And he tells them it's the rhetoric of why people going after them. Like, bro, like, have you ever? That's why I say these people don't have no kind of self-awareness. Have they ever stopped and thought, like, it's what they see? Like Jessica said, it's what they see. Like these ICE agents roughing people up, shooting people with them rubber bullets and shit from point blank range, separating families. Like, you think they don't see this shit? But nah, you say it's the left's rhetoric. Dog, come on, man. Y'all really gotta start being honest with yourself. It's Trump's fucking rhetoric. He started all this shit. All the name calling and shit. He started all that shit. You could pull up videos now where he calling Kamala Harris a communist, Marxist, fascist. Like, all he just kept saying it in that order. She's a communist, Marxist, fascist. She's a communist, and all. Like, bro, this shit is crazy, dog. And it be getting me heated sometimes because this fucking Greg Gutfeld dude, he always cutting Jessica off, and he cut her off every time she make a correct point. Motherfuckers don't notice that. Every time she about to lay out the best point, he cut her off. Like, why? Why, bro? Like, you don't like what you hear? And yeah, it's not both sides. Y'all side are fucking delusional. You fake religion. You got it by this so-called book that you barely even adhere to. Because in the Bible, Jesus ain't do half of the shit that y'all doing. But they don't like the New Testament though. But they always invoking Jesus' name, but they don't like the New Testament. They always using the Old Testament shit. Man, come on, man. I can go all day on this shit. Cause these motherfuckers are wild, bro. These motherfuckers are straight wild. And then on CNN, dude, look, Adam Mockler, 22-year-old dude on CNN, fucking crushing all they ass in the debate. And he brought up the same thing that Jessica did. Another young white male. Like, you gotta look at the trends. Easy access to guns. Young white male. Like, you don't see black people doing this shit. Black on black crime. Okay, we gotta address that. But you don't see black people going to some random spot, just shooting up shit and then killing themselves. Like, if we're gonna address these issues, let's address them and stop pointing the finger everywhere but yourself. If that's all everybody has to do is look in the mirror and realize what you are doing wrong. You as an individual, not you as part of a group or you as part of left wing or right wing. You yourself. Look at what you're doing. But back to the Adam Mockler thing, we about to check out his video, so I'm gonna show y'all how he wrecked these motherfuckers. Let's check them out.
You know, every time one of these tragic shootings happens, everybody's at each other's throats about which side did it, but we're missing a broader pattern in America. This was another young white dude who's in his 20s. We have seen this pattern accelerating over the past decade. The same day Charlie Kirk was shot, the same exact time, there was a neo-Nazi who shot up a school in Colorado. We can look at the acceleration of the radicalization of young men through a few frameworks. There's the COVID pandemic, which had people isolated, had a bubble around themselves, and a lot of young men failed to pull that bubble down and got sucked down these algorithms. I've seen it happen to my close friends. They get sucked down these algorithms. We have foreign actors trying to sow chaos in America, sow division. How much does Putin salivate when he sees us at each other's throats? Then we have domestic actors, people like Elon Musk, riling it up. So all of these factors, wait, hold up, Ben. All of these factors come together to create this pattern that we see of young men in my age range committing these shootings. And if you want to sit here and go back and forth, tit for tats, I can say Dylan Roof, Robert Bowers, John Earnest, none of these were black people. None of these were trans people. None of these were even Democrats. These were neo-Nazis who had things carved into their guns. You can sit here and muddy the waters, but you are just lying.
I just don't want innocent people to die. Sue me for that.
Then maybe tell Trump to tone down his rhetoric.
If you think this is Trump, this is exactly, you literally just went through an entire argument. So Abby, let me go back to the
Can I make something that might be a little bit more controversial than that?
Hold on a second.
All right. Tell y'all, little dude ain't nothing but 22 years old and hella knowledgeable when it comes to this politics shit, and he be making some good ass points too. Yeah, I follow him on YouTube. What is it called? Adam Mockler Media. Y'all should check him out. Dude cold. Lil' dude cold. But yeah, that's all I got for today, man. I'll be back later with some more videos. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this whole thing about how ICE and the rhetoric behind it. Do you think it's the left's rhetoric that's causing these people to dole out these violent attacks? Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll be back later. Peace.